Ken afe ye monkomo. First of all, Stegen issue no looks like it is getting out of hand. Na ene asanswa babio say boy no still no obo no or still no bet na club with him. Na Stegen issue me person be a different page be eso de chiro. Say it looks like ya koye me to say and no na the basis of Stegen minko. Papa be your friend Tony Tapalovic. Tony Tapalovic, and I am buying winching for or more goalkeeper's trainer. Or no, a training man, no, yes, I can't be about your checking after Papa the farmer and I mean, wouldn't come on. Or no, a training man, no, yes, man, no, ya. Even Sir Tapalovic, time I'm a no, ya, or in a wedding on a name. Best man. Let's just say on him and no very, very close. Na time and no ya at that go Germany. National team no na yen fit Stegen no. I'm for like just say Tapalovic on call for na the German national team and a name papa in that go ni bi. Emma Stegen in that go ni bi. Now, if you do remember very well, you call walk up by Hans Flick. And the German national team ko by go mu eni mu ase no. There was the Bayern Munich block versus clubs are players are armor bar from a Bayern Munich. It's almost accusing Hans Flick of playing the Bayern Munich players because are used to them. It's players like Ike Wonderwan, Kai Havertz, Ter Stegen. No, so some players then no more arguing with team against Hans Flick. Temi Yepa. It's time Hansi Bayern. Our Pamu Ike Wonderwan. One of those things I want for a pointing out. And it's a Kai. Only Ike Wonderwan have issues with the German national team. Okay. Hansi Bayer all fun and call for no. Can me patch on my picture no. Hansi appointed Tony Tapalovic as the goalkeeper's trainer. Can me patch on what in command me would say. The man who had issues with Ter Stegen now has been appointed as the goalkeeper's trainer. And the Tapalovic in a buy, you know. Na Barcelona goalkeeper's trainer what that. Goalkeeper's trainer no what that. And near for the Jose de la Fuente. Ono why you join Barcelona since 2012. Ono so ni papa ni Ter Stegen. Ono put no contract session ye January ya. And the Ter Stegen force ya say omo man ntina. Me ba cho oh unya the picture ni tin kwabo bi. Jose de la Fuente. Inti de la Fuente na tin kwabo da one. Ana Tapalovic no ono na ene coach ni susu gina ho. It's because of the role of De La Fuente. Today, Omaya Tapalovic as a technical assistant, but the role Sankasa should have been a goalkeeper's trainer. It's Nipa me no nominate Ter Stegen away issues with Germany, you know. I'm about to know who's here. Now, me to make 100% to say that is the reason, but clearly there are issues. There are clear issues. They say last week about one thing say. Eda omeka se Ter Stegen no kwa Ter Stegen be kono De La Fuente ondi ne chinko there ka cheo. You see ye Ter Stegen, we are not even taking Ter Stegen out alone, we are taking him alongside his favorite goalkeeper's trainer. Say on free club now have a Hansi any Tapalovic na ne we gina ho no man no ye gina o be take over no munye adwuma no. It's clearly the goalkeeper knows the situation no a toxic because Sanko for no more no almost said I'm feeling the biasa. And on so I not doing saying this idea. Then will be see nipa. Now, ni tete ni nyina say enye healthy. Personally, if I had any way to advise, I would have told him say on free club in Munko. Because Barcelona, they've done this to so many players. They have ways to tarnish your image outside. Master, he needs to leave. Because clearly, Nipa na only Ejumano, and the Obabe Ejuma say, Tapalovic, on a technical assistant. Once De La Fuente leaves the club, he will become the goalkeeper's trainer. And so what is the point of staying in the club? What did they? Nico Williams, Luis Diaz. decision making. Came up with Chow. The tennis say, what is the Liverpool for value Luis Diaz? 80 million euros. 80 million euros, no? See me. Nico Williams, ni deal 60 million euros. But you for taxes in count. When the taxes account, you are taking figures to around 65 million euros. Let's just say, Nico is 65. Luis Diaz 80 million euros. Luis Diaz said 28 years. Nico 22 years. In the ideally the best way, Nico no go for or sound so you're young, you go for Nico. And this but this is where the mathematics comes in. In the Nico Williams deal, just a would yes can cast down. Come now what time they are to now call. In the Luis Diaz deals, Barcelona can negotiate first of all, say but Liverpool for 1 second or so. 2, or meeting me spread this kind of amortization. Church is kind of kakra. Into do base figure na dawa. Obeka se Nico Diana no boafo. But the reality is that what comes 65 million euros cash down and easy. Into decision, you know, and that from trust how. But you also commander me dinasi. So be torn out the amount. Kine me call my phone the amount. Me jisika boom. Change say kwame the say for sika bra. Kakra no wetuatua na nyina wia. Wa hwe ne ya, wa dwen beko sika na wetuatua na kakra no. Enti Deco and his technical team they need to take a decision. Dia to so bio, hwe transfer bia ye risky. I understand. Transfers dey risky. E betimi aba say you go for the top player e go wiase oba obetimi fail. Name in transfers what we do is that for player, for the less riskier. Because for the probability say a befano was wrong, you just give it a try. Mekani you say if you decide to commit over 60 million euros our transfer for a player, I was a player no the mujidi. Watch this. Mekani see Manchester United, Arsenal, or more strikers no open wasam. Shadie Kolomwani PG take a risk bia me kai so mokoto but I kept on saying say Kolomwani no about one good season pe PG committed 90 million euros onye flop Ramos Højlund of his Tom Grass e Atlanta no kra wan money papa o obebo half season big gidi because the starting season you know he was not performing half season obebo gidi o share 10 goals pe Manchester United took a risk. I know it's a risk where they dangerous. Obaye, sa amfa. Now, so who committed over 60 million euros akofa player 1 season back. And one body gidi are careful. Who go eketeke? Season where and where Jinan announce he has not been consistent over 2 years. Frankfurt for no so major 100 million euros. And a risk you don't have to take it. Okay. Now, 4 players are on the table today. Arsenal Man U, Esobuchusu Bako. Benjamin Sesko, 80 plus 10 million euros. Okay, Kambuma 90 million euros. Jokeres, 80 million euros. Victor Osimhen, 75 million euros. Hugo Eketeke, 100 million euros. Eketeke word in China, Osimhen. Sir Frankfurt for no omuna ashishe price. Say club no me na me ton ma de me na me hihye. Me pa mo cho. Sa na omo unse omo afa no. Me pa mo cho yi club world cup na ibon chem wa me be see ken. Yet any say. Normally na ye the 6 teams na ko 6 confederations na fo bia ba ko. Ni ama host nation ba ko so onfan kan nkobo. Me can the esisu dia say since 2015 it has always been the European clubs. Why? Because it is quite obvious to say European clubs are not standard. No, it was so actually in all the continents. Okay. Maybe I told you the bicho yase. So the idea of FIFA is say, and say yes, this time around that yama you for funny baby 12 teams. Okay. Still, it looks like border ayesha. She said by Munchi no achi Oakland fashion 10. It looks like still born and airborne slots na yet yam mama your friend saying confederations ni bi no mfa so bi eni so well I'm not going to the make you say because I'm not attending na hard na tio Sa Auckland City for no omo no omo ni Fiji for na ebo Solomon Island Tahiti omo bo Champions League to ebi ho na wo hwe teams a omo bo na obehye omo nyina Fiji Tahiti it's yes, I understand FIFA want to give those continents opportunity, but it looks like 12 na UEFA and still on one and so on because they are way ahead.
Barcelona winner chechi, Liverpool chechi, Arsenal chechi.
Hadrin.
Winner chechi. We dey say United ya san kaso ya mkubi kranka we
dey. Only on ka.
FIFA Club World Cup no ahye. And your witness games ni bibia. Yehu Ali any Inter Miami abo your witness sa game no. Bayern 10-0. Your witness sa game ni atwe Palmeiras any FC Porto. By we share FIFA Club World Cup ne kene sha ase na match a nipa dodo na hwe pan no eye de enu record so between PSG then Atletico Madrid. Nipa mpokra ko stadium ho na eye 80,000 plus. And some pokra no mo bet na TV achi ahwe. So far any match a nipa etimi ahwe ne kese pa. Ken recently se uko Europa. O ka two clubs a yesi omunim defend power football mo Europa. One bought Atletico Madrid, ubo Inter Milan. Recently, Europe. You see Inter Milan folk a good defensive network. International. Yetimika Atletico Madrid under Diego Pablo Simeone. Omo good defensive network. Omo said. It is our two clubs we know. Yatagi omo say omo ye defensive oriented clubs. It only omo koshia. Den so beche goals bebreti omo. Yehu PSG. Ochi Inter Milan in the UEFA Champions League final. Man 5 goals. And so what's up our Besha Diego Pablo Simeone in Atletico Madrid? You see defensively very good. What's in 4? So sir, two clubs are target almost defensively strong, no. Yenya PSG combine one more 9-0. And what's say can be beat your PSG Bobo na Luis Enrique assistant. So what's next team next? Now we share PSG and Luis Enrique no musia kanya. Ken idea ba me trim ni idea me huni ye say PSG ball no mo bono the flow state of PSG game no every game phase bia no un se PSG team no our optimal balance se PSG for ni si akanya sa the flow of the game ni state no every time bia no stage bia no un so mo optimal balance e wo mo ball no mo boni enti sa wo hwe PSG a omo krabo a omo balance omo nkrabo a omo balance omo defend ya omo balance omo defend ya omo balance enti akwesibo ni ka se PSG boboku no omo optimal balance every phase of the game and mo omo yes special on say recently UEFA Champions League no omo je no na omo use strikerless system na omo mbo a typical number 9 eye Kvaratskhelia Abrante friend say Dembele and Doué and the ball omo front three by enra against Atletico Madrid yehun say Luis Enrique decided say Obama Abrante friend say Gonzalo Ramos as the main number 9 being an obstructive forward player at the PSG Boboku no. And Tiago decided so Ben said this time around on cost strikerless BM. Bobe used Gonzalo Ramos our the final 10. Now I hear obstruction work no. And Tiono and the Pini Lenormand Atletico Madrid for center back no. So no Gonzalo Ramos a pini na a creative space at the man wide forward no make me exploit our spaces no. Yehu Vitinha, yehu Fabian Ruiz and yehu Abrante friend said Joao Neves. Sa three midfielders we no and making sure say omo ye omo normal rotation we gina ha na we position no ye amo make me control game no. Hakimi Ashraf and Vitinha. Sa two players no at the strategy Atletico Madrid for press. Anytime bia PSG bejibo obiano Hakimi Ashraf and Abrante friend say Vitinha ebe the strategy na create lanes in their team friend say PSG say on betimi attack enti say otwa PSG game na wo flexibility in my approach a na efedodo e ka ho bi na ma PSG e ko share Atletico Madrid a defensive oriented team na we nya 17 attempt to score emu 8 on target we nya 4 goals because system no afa players no moti ase enti hwe substitution players omu fresh ba ni nyina no mayulu mu ebeba oba be she goals league can in oba be she goal e kire team a de osa ase ene de ote bench ni nyina no omu te system na se ye hwe say after so omu je UEFA Champions League no on betuma de sa tournament we and by king to be honest Luis Enrique team we there me hu ne say omu optimal balance ene Chelsea ye hwe omu Chelsea so first game omo akone against Los Angeles FC na game baako a ye betwe because nkofo e wo interest ken Los Angeles FC for no enye bo boku abeka se omo suru bebria omo style of play ni ehu a obetimi de ehunu na Chelsea for no by individual players bi wo ho a ye betwe omo e wo mo game ni baako senior man Olivier Giroud se so si akan e de ma Los Angeles for no if it is so free Italy ko PM wo ho no wababa be the main man wababa be the face of the team or that vast experience o share the former club and edu sa stage e opeso prove say and fa won MLS o si akan no o share teams akesie na obetima prove the world enti be hu branch friends Olivier Giroud say also be the experience e de be ma Los Angeles for no then another experienced goalkeeper Hugo Lloris also so a vast experience both club side and national team on here any introduction to world football or a World Cup winner with France. Also so a goalkeeper and also better because no England no was Spurs. O share Chelsea for no on Chelsea for no you better sad Abranti no. Then Ghana for so interest because you be ya oyebua. Our Los Angeles. Ya oyebua talent ba kwa ken. Na Ghana for we did so obedru enim pa. Because of free right to dream no call Manchester City. And wakone nam loan sa no dia ba be pie mo Los Angeles. Those say when do some pen so na ni expect no by the technique ni speed no ye be hu on the part of Chelsea new guys in Chelsea for be try so ba be show new players no one brand friend say dealer almost striker no because Chelsea issues in terms of goal scoring. Nicolas Jackson wo ho say dealer be compete with Nicolas Jackson so report e ba ne say enim pokro na be chance wo Chelsea anymore. So we have opportunity a chance na your first competitive game for Chelsea there now they ba on board so in the first game no e betima ma Chelsea for na nyagidie bi woni mu let's not forget the jersey number ni mpokura akwa no a pressure jersey number Chelsea for e wogidie bi say sa jersey number 9 no enkoye mfama players so mababa be hye nansi enti 9 na wakofa de aba be hye no e sa de another pressure so amount for better branch friend say Dilap say there no they ba on board. Pressure na wo Ipswich na no bi na wo Chelsea a result oriented club ye ba akosha Abrantie no and so watch Los Angeles for omo 4 and 5 Eddie and Malon ni Eddie enye center backs a metimaka say on them Abrantie friends say Dilap top time enti Dilap ye betwe no then Dario Esugo the defensive midfielder ye be witness ne because yate so be game na say ade ba kwa meni wo Abrantie no ho ne say Chelsea e wo history say e ba defensive midfielder omo ntan disappointing from Makelele, Michaelesian down to Matic, N'Golo Conte, then Caicedo. And it's what follow Chelsea defensive midfielders almost sign on my omo bar or me bo. And then Abrantie we so they on board. So Chelsea first game, you better witness the Chelsea, most especially new guys, you know. Edebeba. Mami Raymond Fat transfer snake a crampa update snake a crambra. Any details, you know. FIFA Club World Cup near Kosovo US, you know. On say Real Madrid, Anna, Hilal, was Saudi, and the whole group. Madrid first game mpo komuni omnebabo. Na reports are a free USA manager say Hilal for now decided say after that game Ombeshia Rodrigo Real Madrid for Brazilian international no need in komo. Na no ana Ronaldo ne team all na asafo ate sa sorry no. Ana omo so send delegation e dia ko US. So omo so nkoshia Rodrigo. Na reports na a free Saudi banimpo crash say all na asafo are ready to offer Real Madrid 130 million euros for Rodrigo. Nenti ankoni Ronaldo mo mfambe pimpim. On say Sadio Mane on person mo yini free bobo konim. So Rodrigo so epese obo as a left winger. Enti oba na nka left winger no onu na gina ho na Ronaldo gina mfimfin. Enti El Nasafo no ayoma dwen say 130 million euros. Nyame aduma mo send delegation akọ US. No makoshia Rodrigo no mo so convince no. So two top Saudi clubs Hilal ana El Nassr omo nyina na epa Abrantie your friend say Rodrigo. Na Ghana to nsensem no. Spurs for any interest in the Kenya shoot to Kosoro. On say Liverpool sini team di o mababia no mba o motebo na na o matwemo. But you say Thomas Frank instructed Spurs for paying for say omo person omo compete for next season na ni ngwase eto omo just end this season e bi nto omo biema obehia players a omo dem bobeso ani. Na one player you feeling the pan ya branch friend say Ghana too. And it Spurs for no prepare official bid. And then kosi nyame aduma Friday na watch no be no. Spurs for the official bid. Eba come Manchester United. And the basana most likely say Spurs for bit major Richarlison coin. And to prepare official bid for branch friend say Ganacho. Fenerbahce for Jose Mourinho team. And I say, omo permit for this no. Now no Mbeka Cho say Bissouma. I agree personal terms with. Fenerbahce for. No mo so omo wie. Report a free techie Ebane chere say. Fenerbahce for na sa contacted Thomas Partey bi. I'm a Partey representatives aka tro mo say, boy ni die, opeso otina Arsenal, opeso settle or London, or you okay or London, on peso be move. By based on story in reports near free techie Ebane chere say, Fenerbahce for aka chere Thomas Partey representatives for say, omo die omo ma Partey pressure. By in case say, Arsenal for entimi reach agreement with Partey na, omo Fenerbahce for no standby. Omo twen say Arsenal do na nkoye with team a friend say Arsenal any Partey die na ankoye omo Fenerbahce for no was standby omo twen say ombetimi nsaka Thomas Partey. Na story now break here about Robertis and Anthony in Manchester die no. Ken. The attorney say 50% now kind no correct. Robertis for say on person mutua 20 million euros. Omutua 20 million euros ma Manchester United da. No ma sign a permanent base. Omo sign na. Se omo Robertis ne ton Anthony akotim fofra. Manchester wo 50%. Enti fa ne se Anthony ba Robertis no. Wa baba no homodin. Real Madrid force omo pen, Barcelona force omo pen. Ombetua 80 million euros. Manchester be senya additional 50. And no latest development o the story ni too wa me saka say Manchester for say sa 20 million euros a guarantee fee no eswa. Sankombe tima ye ni 50 mpo kra nkomo pe. Enti ankombe tua 50 million euros a no mo sa de ahyem say omo ton no mo sa 50% ewom. Enti Manchester for say pay 50 million euros unlike 20 million no mo say 20 million de e bia form de free ho eba no. Na ken Arsenal for aka che Sporting Lisbon for say omo menen kosi Friday omo positive news a your carries deal no off. And then kosi Friday Arsenal for say omo ye de wo so omo ye bia. Na Sporting Lisbon for need prove stubborn. And then kosi Friday say omo any positive news a omo Arsenal for no omo be wie. Ya ka no mame mo so emfa ma won tentem. Rafael Leao de no. One Ronald Araujo de no. Esre kakra. Onim say Ronald Araujo ne release clause. Nyame Aduma 1st July enkosi 15th of July. About 65 million euros. Next month you be seeing the release clause about 65 million euros. And just from 1st to 15th, Anna, sa release clause never drop it. And intermediaries for be. And the coach here AC Milan for. Anna AC Milan must allegedly catch on some open established centre back. Anna Ronald Araujo di eco PM. Anna mo propose say Barcelona so per Rafael Leao. Rafael Leao release clause of 175 million euros. AC Milan for atiaba 100 million euros. Obiambai. Ano mo propose say any say open Ronald Araujo dia. Araujo next month in release clause drop ya by 65 million euros. Entire na yen kokin Barcelona for ni enya swap deal. Enti swap deal Ronald Araujo dia ne drop over 65 million euros a. Barca besa di 35 as aka ho. Abeji Rafael Leao. Enti 65 ne drop it. Na Barca di 35 ne ka ho a. Ekoye 100. No mo dia baba abeji abrante friend say Rafael Leao enti dia wo ho no. Na me de manu sikura no. De Laurentiis akacha Antonio Conte say yibako. Garnacho anase Grealish. Sa two players ne sky da ho a Napoli person de kofa baako no. 45 million pounds. Enti ma kacha Antonio Conte say sa 45 million pounds no. Onka player ope say ye Grealish anase ye Garnacho.
Can Mamen Shah here from Manchester United. Footballer bia say both season. Ken I
United is quite loose.
Can someone now be a story na maybe come once?
Oh, sir.
Aye.
Well, they may come.
Aye, they come on na maybe come once.
Okay. What I get United as a
United. Oh, your footballer. Season bia. I was almost say exams na ocho. Exams na ocho because on Monday bona about during the season no. And when you real season now, technical team management. And you will take a decision about playing body. Every team ni mubiano. Ebe jinaso. No mo dey take a decision. Say Obertna and I say ebe mawako. En komona mi di me kan dia baba be see story awoye yeso. Say Manchester United technical team no. I decided so mo take a decision. No mo keep one player ma ba kwako between Rasmus Højlund and the Joshua Zirkzee. These are two players for Manchester United. Manchester United and Nimo in the just ended season. Goals now ma. No crack. But other strikers we me no. And after forward line players we me no. Now be a bisa said you share goals kese na yam fa nyi ba kwa. Ube decide say be obe Hoyland. Because at least share 4 goals. Emma Manchester United. Zegzi share 3. Emma Manchester United. But Oma decided to move keep Zegzi. No mama Hoyland ako. The idea make us say oh bobo exams now you need because Zegzi by in the first season of Manchester United na ebowie. And Zegzi as a player. And the first season no. Said there were a lot of lapses on the ball no cry. But at least player bia, footballer bia, make him move. Me no me no to say the first season the adaptation period. It will be here time kaka. It in pain be say player banasa anko year. First season obi say oh we dia fair na waba. It yenya botem fama no because everybody following the game admits and understand. So first season no, I am was a player and adapt and some of the best of results. There are times I will players are or buy na farmer no and only than chain. But you nimse oba who be take time kakransan and near fire at the amount. It's in the first season. No one time was a typical number 9 for Manchester United. There were a lot of times about different positions behind the lead striker and as an auxiliary striker. Most of the time no more as a typical number 9. And no more 3 goals. It don't be to be decided on pardon no. But Rasmus Højlund as a striker, a typical number 9 for Manchester United. Ken, the second season of boy and the first season was better than the second season. In the first season for Manchester United, Osher 10 league goals and assisted twice. It will league anymore. Last season in the second season, our Manchester United supporters didn't expect an improved performance. No, I failed a goals and a drop it. Osher just 4 throughout the season. One man assist to be it was second season. It was a adapt here. Now performance the best rise. No, I failed a performance and it declining.
Big Barcelona strikers, sir.
Yes.
Barcelona Hoyland. Wouldn't go chain. Sexy, would you tell me?
Wouldn't go share.
But your father said, what should go to chain?
Oh, see the neighbor you go there.
And intimate was shared on woman, I say, on Conadia, one shadow on his team.
And nothing I make us say a adaptation and wasn't. Your father said, what about 2 seasons? Or first season, now more than one was switcher in second season. No. What adapt here and I will this kind of performance for Manchester United. But Zegzi, I fail on only adapted. And the performance you gave, whole season. And I feel that I fail now adaptive young can never be kind the amount. I fail a performance in a year, bay, it's a coffin. And for me, Melim Penny for the bay again. So Mobema Zegzi another opportunity to prove himself. Now Rasmus Højlund as a striker for Manchester United because after our first season there, yeah, expected our adaptive give numbers a very encouraging, but he won the same from Fia Brandt and home. Ken Stegen. Me nim die a goalkeeper and as a player for a club. Ebe decide say no matter the ongoings in the club, me as a player there. Kwan bia e be fa so a metena team nim bia na metena. Me bisa because clearly I have evidence that Barcelona and Casa team no, especially when taking decisions. E wo playing body nim e de omo hia brand here e wo bobo ko nim. And in pain baby when players have something to prove. That is when we decide say chinchire che obetena team nim no obo no obo dey dia team no. But a player like Stegen, after the years of service of Barcelona, Bobo Kunim, can a branch any niche campaign was just Spanish La Liga 6 times. Copa del Rey was done 6 times. Club World Cup here in the year boy Barcelona and Kobe. Was just Club World Cup with Barcelona. Was just Champions League. Luis Enrique team not the Champions League in 2015. No. Now a branch and a cajon. So he's won the Champions League with Barcelona Bobo Kuno. It's minima dia. It was a player decided to change over Yama club. And he decided to better. No what's your kind of team no. Whatever he's supposed to do for the club, he's done it. But problem I remember what he said. Rumors in some number one team in Manchester clearly. Barcelona and Penny for an the technical team no and cash and fancy goalkeeper no. It's the goalkeeper leaving the club is not the problem. But assembly of Branty and Betty, some penny form permit, and some number one thing. Assembly of Branty and Betty, so coaches in your own mamenda, and some number one thing. And no any of Branty any worry. Or to one says here. After Cessny, Yakofa Juan Garcia the number. Juan Garcia is a very good goalkeeper. Per reports are ever. It was Juan Garcia Barcelona number 1 in the coming season. Not Cessny I number 2. Not just a goalkeeper I find Stegen who is the captain of Barcelona. Your third choice. Ken, stage no money na no. Say player da po man, not a player bobo. na player not in the chini and an experienced goalkeeper, another player. On Pekasa, it is good. But they tested in here before the Champions League final. Clearly. One more beyond so on to be mammet na bench. Abra on Kasa. Because for a goalkeeper of injury. Now Coco to Coca Chen is a tournament no about do finals. Goalkeeper no only da po ni mamu do finals no. Yini film no person oba beda de. Na tese nya de otena bencha obedi obekasa. Clearly and now say my from stories awye. Sa brand tell so on otena Barcelona omuko pre-season na. Owu any goalkeeper obasa team nim so ye better Chen no. It's pre-season ni nya chance no nya game timer obeba baba ye Barcelona number 1. Ken he is the captain of the side. Watch our team nim obenya a lot of influence with team nim. It is stage na adru no amicably omoni abrante and international after the official in penifo and country no say why ye bi eye first here ye ja okwan no akọ na ya to ye team ye ne so because the wire dia maboboko ni enough na se sika ne wo mo den ne wo mo omodi abrante na de na ma no a free club nim no ye de ben okọ because some of these players so man it na onya bi mo onya bi na e be create problem ne tension in the dressing room. We shouldn't forget that he's the captain and one of the most experienced players of Barcelona Bobo him. It's rumors say na mabonten na Abrante ne bete. So mon pelu obasa Bobo Konimu a just okokote wo radio so na to te wo abonten no. Officially omo approach no. No mon kan share say adwumade ntimi ne won to aso biom. Etifa adwumade ni si wo na nipa fofo nya de be emra. Kenke to abi coach Luis Enrique akoka asem bi ye bisa ne say Real Madrid dey play a pacho. Na de na o ka de afa sa ansem no. And a coach say normal because the man tell na bomb homode teams ne be ba so mo baba be pe mo ba se ti ai de e be ya den so be fa player e dey free Paris me ni coach ne ya 100% because wa baba be build the project and dependent GDA wom when you build the project to a certain level and people get trust in the project ken obi a person associating him with the project Manchester City bobo ko le Pep Guardiola be fire level of the team nako and the Manchester City decided to come market no one wrestle other big teams for players or far onya and I believe that is the kind of standard level coach Luis Enrique de Paris Saint-Germain team no eko through state say man team nyane de he has to work harder tell be obey improve upon the performance time bia na status na wa achieve no what team ya maintain because
Hansi Flick that's what in chain Luis Enrique nipa bebre hu Hansi Flick say why adwuma chain Enrique
ken
and what dream aso
it is
season no say na nkofusi hu aye Hansi na you hu Luis Enrique say
ken because baby Hansi Flick be for Barcelona the previous season and sana obana neman nye kra
compared to PSG omko semi final
yes
semi final
yes if you compare these two teams the baby na omu gina e de bad ya na e din nye coach bia na be je say adwuma no
okay